Hi guys, my name is TJ Johnson, and what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today is things that Google has done well. Namely, in particular, one thing that they've done well that has made them unique. Something that, in my mind, no other company has done. So in 2012, what Google set out to do was to begin a study called Project Aristotle. And what this study did was research how certain teams in their organization, such as their IT teams, marketing, creative design, etc., and they wanted to figure out why some did well and some did not do well. And so they began by reviewing a half century of academic studies that looked into how teams worked. And what they discovered initially was that no matter how the researchers arranged the data, it was almost impossible to find patterns of or any evidence that the composition of a team made any difference. And what the composition of the team means didn't matter if it was anything to do with their race, their gender, or anything of that nature. And later they found out within their own organization that some groups that were ranked among their most effective teams were friends outside of work. They interacted with each other inside work and outside of work. They hung out, they talked, and those were some of their most effective teams. And others who were basically strangers away from work comprised the teams that were not doing so well. So some preferred a less hierarchical structure, some wanted more managers involved and wanted to have that type of structure, that chain of command, so to speak. So there was a toss-up between the different types of teams and what made them tick and what didn't. And most confounding of all was that two teams might have nearly identical makeups with overlapping memberships. Maybe Joe is on Team A and Team B, but they had radically different levels of effectiveness. So what researchers concluded after looking at over hundreds of groups for more than a year was that understanding and influencing group norms were the keys to identifying Google's teams. So things that were normal for one group may not be normal for another group. And what they distinguished the good teams from the dysfunctional groups were how teammates treated one another. So obviously the teams that were treating each other well and were respectful of each other and communicated well, those were the ones that were doing better. They were increasing the effectiveness of their team, and it raised their level of intelligence. And obviously that goes a long way with being an effective team. So if you look at it on the flip side, teams that argue a lot and don't like each other and it's becoming personal, I don't think they're going to be as good of a team, and that's what research showed. So Project Aristotle really helped Google define what a good team was, and they figured out that it's all about emotional experiences at work. Most people don't want to bring a work face as soon as they step in the door at the office. They don't want to put on a different front than how they normally live. They want to have that safeness, and they want to be able to live out their lives just as they would at home or in public. So Google figured out that if their employees were able to freely communicate and freely act as if they would in public, that they would feel more comfortable at work and therefore increase the effectiveness of the team that they were on. So I thought that that was an awesome finding, and Project Aristotle is very unique, and that's what makes Google one of the great companies. Thanks for letting me share.